Gross play.
Do you think we should turn... I've turned the music off because it becomes the most annoying thing for me in most video games.
Okay.
I've actually turned off a whole bunch of the features in this to make it more immersive. Do you think we should just reset to default?
I think we should leave it be.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm good with that. The music, it kind of provides additional ambient sound, right? Just for us to try and focus past.
Right.
So, no, I'm good with it.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Oh, I can go back to the main thing!
More games need to be designed that way.
Yeah. I think that's a good spread. You should even start it before that. Like, so we're just in it.
Sure.
What's going on, boys?
We're getting prey.
What's going on, girls? The weird thing about this game is that this is Prey 2017, I think it was. There was a Prey 2006, and it's not really this game. And the development team was told that it had to be called Prey, and that's it.
That's actually all they got.
No explanation. I want to delete my current thing that I'm doing.
So meaning like, hey, we've got a title, and we want you to build an entire game around it?
It has to be called Prey, yes.
Is there some sort of book or movie they were trying to sell?
So I'm pretty sure this is the one I'm working on at 8 hours. I'm definitely not an hour and 30 in. Although it worries me.
Yeah, look, you didn't even get past the lobby.
And then, yeah, it actually bugged on me, and I had to restart the game. I wasn't actually an hour and 30. I probably put the controller down and had dinner or something.
Well, that one's 9 days before the first one, so that's probably an abandoned one. The other one's old.
2019, that's my old one. The fact that you can't choose more is absolutely bizarre to me.
More than 3 slots?
We're actually going to go on Nightmare. We're going to go on all survival modes. I've also turned off the music and a bunch of other features that I think are silly. So no matter how you go, your name is always Morgan Yu. That's right, you play as you.
Okay, so these are not your mother and father. These are choices you get to make. I was wondering, I was like, I don't care if their initials are the same. You really shouldn't put 2 people with the same name badge. But this is the same people. I get it.
Also, their name is Mew. I'm always a woman because I'd rather hear female grunts than male grunts.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a good rationale. I used to play as a female character just to get some difference, like you'd play a game 4 times and it's like, let's just play a female character for a different model, right? A different vibe.
Today is Monday, March 15th, 2032.
So pay attention.
2032, that does not give us much time.
So this is an alternate history, actually. This is a history where JFK was not assassinated. The attempt by supposed would-be assassin and former Marine
Lee Harvey
Oswald did happen, but it was unsuccessful. You may recognize, not that you can hear his voice right now, but the guy who plays Alex Yu is he
plays Wong.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say, well, for me, so that noise, that sound is all the speech is so messed up in this game. There's also no other audio options, you'll notice. There's no headphones or dynamic range or any of that kind of stuff. Because this was I believe the start of Arcane's demise. This is the last game that they did that was really, really fucking good. That sound is level with the audio, the rest of the sound effects at 30 to 70. That's how fucking loud the speech is naturally.
Jeez.
It will knock you out of your seat if you're wearing headphones the first time.
And so it is Wong from Doctor Strange, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was going to say he's Kublai Khan in Marco Polo.
Oh, that's right. I never fully got into that one, but I do remember his character being quite well put together.
So this is one of my favorite things about this game. So I can go up to this and operate it like a computer.
Whoa.
But I can also operate it from here.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I can just this thing works like anything else.
The hover hand is hilarious.
Curious if I could. No, certain objects will interact with it.
With the computer?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We'll see that later on. But yeah, this is my sick ass apartment in the sky. Earth, I guess.
It's a sweet view.
Yeah. And this is my bathroom. It's got a working light. It's got a working sink.
And no reflection. Fucking vampire.
Yeah, so there's no reflection at all. That's called
No, I can see the outline of shapes.
what's that called? Reflection surface. So we are on the highest.
It's called polished stainless steel, and it still makes you a fucking vampire. I don't care what you say.
Screen space reflection is what that's called in gaming terminology. We can close the door. That's pretty cool. I can't pick these up though. Game's unplayable. So
Come on, stop showing me the 2005 features.
This is 2032 features. Got some stuff in the
Your refrigerator
in the
is
fridge there.
locked. Is that what that said? Oh, never mind. I just saw the
can't
red.
pick it up. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is an immersive sim, which means that you can interact with lots of things, whether they matter or not. You can. The systems interact with each other as well. This is, if Ratchet and Clank and God of War 2 didn't exist, this would be my number one absolute with no contest.
And there definitely was some vampire magic involved in putting that suit on. So you're really not busting my impression of you here.
I didn't say it was a high-end simulator. It is an immersive sim.
Isn't that what immersive means?
Did you hear how fucking loud that lady is?
We
have the volume
is that
down
like
to 20.
Yeah.
But this is what I mean. Like, you can pick up an object that has light, and it's independent, like on its own, and
wow.
it casts its own light.
That's hilarious.
Right? And she's even designed to do like how fucking some of the audio, I swear, is attached to the sound effects.
So that it doesn't go down with the sound effect.
Yeah, it may not even have. So did you notice there? It was telling me how to sprint and slide. Like this is not a moment. This is not a good moment. It's not like giving me a space to do it correctly. It's just telling me
That's hilarious.
to do it.
My floor and roof. And what's great about it is that like that's not even unrealistic. Like that could totally be the future where you walk on with like a wristband or something and it says, no, you can't go to floor 30. You don't live on floor 30. You either go to your floor, the roof, or the ground level.
There's a whole
Bitch.
level in the Hitman series, Hokkaido, Japan. And
Okay.
My-
Sorry, you said Hokkaido, right?
Hokkaido, Japan.
Okay.
Yeah. See, that audio can't be connected to the audio. That's so
At
loud.
10%, yeah, there's no way.
It's got to be connected to the sound effects.
Well, and honestly, I can barely hear the sound effects. So if you want to knock them down to 50, you're welcome to do so.
Did you hear? Well, I can turn the whole thing down actually, but I don't know. I think you kind of need to hear the sound. Did you notice that flicker?
Flicker in what?
The background disappeared for a half second.
No, I did not notice.
So normally, like really upbeat music is happening right here. Check out the low poly on those. Look how low poly the
buildings are?
No, the birds. But they also did a little clever thing. It says Arcane Studios over there.
Oh, I do see it. Nice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's eclipsed by the sun, which might be a little reference to the fact that the company was eclipsed by the people who made the game.
Well,
'Cause
I
you'll
think
see-
it was nicely subtle.
You'll see when it says Prey, it might even say Bethesda Studios. They're easier to read. Yeah, up here it says Prey. And it's not like blown out by the sun.
This is a
See
weird
that?
scene without any music, though.
Yeah, but we're carrying.
Oh, and I do see. Okay, now I see the prey.
Yeah. It might have even said Bethesda Studios at some point.
That is a weird sign to put at the top of a building.
Look at those birds.
Yeah, they're definitely low
They're
poly.
like really low poly. It's kind of gross.
I feel like that's just that would be a great insult to be coupled with like low T. You know, like instead of calling a guy low T, you're like, dude, you're so low poly.
He's a low poly.
You're so one dimensional.
Well, people actually really like. I gotta turn tutorials back on, so that you can see how annoying it is.
You're looking for tutorials? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I know there was a separate spot that is. It saves your tutorials, so we got a pre-order. We missed the pre-order bonus.
Oh no.
You know what's crazy? I bought this 2017 game in 2024 and got the pre-order bonus.
Wonderful.
This is an operator. They're a little floaty robot,
A science operator.
and they have like a cute little voice.
Yeah, they're normally volumed.
Yeah,
So sorry, are you actually in the Prey building?
it's not called Prey. It's called TranStar.
Oh, okay.
No affiliation
To the other TranStar?
to trans.
Yeah, you're sure? You sure this isn't their headquarters? Because I figure by the time 2032, they'll probably be in a giant shiny building like that.
You don't think they're already in a giant shiny building?
I don't know. Maybe they just haven't announced it. Oh, he's
You don't look terrible in a trance.
uglier than he looked before.
How's your eye?
Before? Like, is it like his portrait?
Well, his little icon, yeah.
Mm.
His little little phone call icon.
Family tradition. Breaking convention is in our blood.
So,
Breaking conventions in our blood. That's unusual.
the
Overthink it. Dr. Bellamy's gonna walk you.
this is a little tutorial, but there's something to this that I haven't been
We'll be in orbit.
telling you about. There's a reason why this amazing company is pushing us through this really generic ass
Right.
tutorial system,
Listen,
and I'm very excited
be yourself.
to show it to you.
I'll see you after.
This actually does remind me of like Call of Duty 4 though, where they're like, here, you have to go through
Yeah.
a little training exercise, and remember that switching to your pistol is always faster than reloading.
Your melon skills are remarkable.
That's the lesser referenced line, but still a good one. That honestly, the number of times I hear that referenced in other ways is quite remarkable.
Really?
Oh yeah, stuff like there's a video of a confrontation and a guy goes for his gun and the other guy punches him in the face, and it's like, remember, switching to your fist is always faster than reloading. Just like all kinds of random moments.
So this is like, a standard orientation test, and they're asking me they're teaching me how stuff works and how things interact with each other. But there's a story happening with these characters here that they're not explaining to us. And they're taking a huge risk as a developer that they're setting this thing up.
These guys are about to get murked, is what you're saying.
In a way, no.
Yeah.
Everyone survives.
Yeah, no, they're going to get
Everyone
murked. I'm calling
survives.
it right now.
Everything's okay.
They're vampire hunters. That's why you don't care about them.
Vampire.
You dirty bastard. They know your secret. You just want them out of the way.
With this one, they want me to hide in the room. And it uses that same idea that Dishonored uses, where you walk up to an object and it makes you go like extra sneaky. And then you can...
Okay. And I'm assuming this like dark shroud that you're in, that's what tells you you're hidden?
No, when you do this, it just means that you're crouched.
Oh.
It's just a visual way of understanding that you're crouched. It also it's called vignette, by the way. That tiny darkness around the edges is called a vignette. It's in this case, it focuses your eyes almost like your character, like they anticipated.
Like they're squinting.
Yeah, like they anticipated you to be in the darkness to make it easier for you to see things in the light.
Interesting. And it would have been nice if they gave you something better to hide behind, but are you...
So this one's this is a climbing thing. Want to see how fast I can do this?
Oh yeah. Big challenge, vaulting a cube.
8.
That did not take you 8 seconds.
8 seconds left, I think. See.
It's funny, I didn't notice every door was red on your way through, but...
They're blue on this side and red on the other side.
Yeah.
To probably make you feel like you should move this way and not that way.
Yeah, always taking the blue pill.
Although
I can see what they're pushing you towards.
That. Do you know why left and right, like where that came from?
Left and right?
Yeah, like this political spectrum, left and right.
Oh, no.
I'm pretty sure they just sat on left and right sides of the
aisle
of the rooms.
Literally, yeah. I wouldn't doubt it at all. And then, we're the unfortunate ones here in Canada where we had a semicircle instead of a square. So all of a sudden I got divided into 4 chunks and we were like, well, shit. If there's 3 aisles, there's got to be 4 parties. And then there's the Greens and no one gives a fuck about the Greens.
Yep.
Sorry, Greens. It's just fact.
You're just a waste of the real vote.
I would actually love to hear somebody go into the Americans being like, so what do you think about the Green Party in Canada? And they'd be like, well, I heard they had legalized weed there, so it does seem like a reasonable next step that they'd have a party devoted to that. And they'd be like, no, they're environmentalists. And they'd be like, oh, that's a political party?
I'm just choosing random things. This is one of those not aptitude.
Push the fat man. Oh, what are you doing?
You can always change it later.
No. Push the fat man. There we go.
Everyone chooses push the fat man. What is this called? What are these tests called? It's like a brain cognitive test or something?
Yeah, there's some sort of terminology for it, but there's been a lot of discussion about it because of AI vehicles, because you have to pre-program those answers, right? You know, do you save the occupant of the car, or do you save the pedestrians on the street?
Right.
Oh, no.
Did you notice?
No.
The cup actually goes in. Like it actually shows up in the scene and pretends to be a cup.
Oh.
And then when he picks it up, he's like, is this mine? And then it just comes to life and takes him out.
No, I heard him say, this is mine, but I wasn't actually paying attention to his hands. I was looking at the fat man portion.
Yeah. But they have you look at the test so that you're not paying attention to what's happening. But if you are paying attention, it's still happening in real time because it's an immersive sim.
It's pretty sweet. I heard that when they programmed the movie Ratatouille,
Yeah.
there was a scene that happens in darkness, but they actually animated the whole thing first, just so they could figure out how
Timing.
long it would take and all that. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, imagine spending your time animating a scene that ends up being completely pitch black
Yep.
when the user actually watches it.
They do that with nude characters. Like if they're going to be... Yeah, exactly. What are we doing here?
We took the blue pill. We went
What's
back
going
to the,
on?
We went through the next door.
If a character is going to be nude but gets like blocked by a bunch of things, they still animate them naked so that you know where stuff is supposed to be.
So you know how to hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. That must make for some slightly awkward office moments.
Like walking around the corner and seeing someone's like drawn a character with nipples.
Yeah, it's like, have you finished the Naked Marge yet for the Simpsons release?
Yeah. I mean, if you don't, someone is going to, and they're going to put it on Rule 34. So like, you might as well do it yourself, right?
Yeah, I
You know
suppose
what I'm
so.
talking about? Look at this. Look at that fucking art.
That is beautiful.
That is tremendous.
Who are the other folk in this?
Their parents.
What?
So that's me on the right. I'm the lady character, and then the guy who's been talking to us is in the middle. Scary.
Is he your
Mr.
uncle or
Yu.
your dad?
He's your brother.
Oh, those are both your parents. Okay, they just look really menacing.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no! What was that girl's name? Pamela?
I didn't. Oh, Patricia.
Patricia. Close enough.
See, so I can pick up the wrench from her, or right off the ground.
Nice.
Isn't that neat? I can also grab
That
some
is
plastic tubing. But you'll notice there was an elevator here.
Oh yeah.
What happened there? Also, only game I've ever played with a square flashlight. That's pretty neat.
It's unnecessary, but it's cool.
So this character January is a backup of myself. That's why she kind of sounds like a robot version of my character.
A backup version?
Yeah, she's like an operator that I put myself into because we had our mind reset and we figured that was going to happen again. So she made another version of herself.
Jesus.
It takes a while to like learn all of that. But
Yeah.
we're not like listening to the story. So they don't give me direction, which is I think amazing. Like it just says get out of your apartment, but there's no way out.
Well, you
There's,
can go right.
The doors are locked. There's nothing over there.
Smash the fish tank.
You could smash the fish tank.
Smash it. What do you know? Is this not the way you're supposed to get
I've never tried
out?
that before. Yeah, they don't want you to do that. I mean, I actually figured this out for the video that I'm doing. You can also do it over here.
Okay.
Yeah. So they want you to do it here because there's the door doesn't open up.
It's your apartment. Whoa.
How about that?
Officially mind blown.
Look at that.
Wow.
It's some sort of technology
Damn.
that in real time, based on your perspective. Like, consider how difficult that would be to do. It's actually doing this to your mind because if someone else looked at it, it would change its perspective, right?
Well, presumably it's following your eyes. Like,
Or it actually
what is that,
exists.
Ghost Protocol?
It could actually exist in there.
They do that exact thing. Oh, yeah, there's a whole world inside the glass.
This thing follows me slowly, but
Because, yeah, to me, that implies that thing's tracking your eyes.
yeah, it would
That's
be.
crazy.
So here, this is what blew me away.
Pigeon test.
The pigeons are low poly because of a glitch in the render data.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that wild?
Wow. Okay, so that's actually intentional.
Entirely.
Wow.
Everything in this fucking game is intentional. Reports about Morgan's exhaustion and her inability to deal with neuromod installation and removal. And there's way too many of these emails to read through on a playthrough like this, but
Well, and that's what you mean by immersive.
we're inside of a room that simulates the apartment.
Wow.
And over here is... Thanks.
Well, there you go.
Very immersive.
Oh my god.
So this really got me. Look at that. None of it was real. That was a simulated helicopter ride in a room full of those panels where you can change. Something happened. Oh, geez.
Yeah, you should get off.
The door doesn't, or the wall won't move. There
So
we
they'll
go.
have modular.
See this?
Whoa.
It switches. So when I went in the elevator, I didn't go anywhere. It just made a new room for me.
Super creepy.
Isn't that wild? And there's so much detail. There's people were hanging out drinking wine, having pizza. There's tipped over chairs because shit went down. There's signs that tell you oh! Did you see that?
I saw something move.
So they don't, their intention was not to show you the mimic. But
That's what these things are?
But if you explore, you'll find it earlier than their intention. And then later on, toilet paper. And then later on, there'll be a part where they introduce you officially to them, but you easily could have gone through the game or gone through up into that point without having seen it if you chose not to go back there, if you went straight for the game. I've turned off the objective marker, the awareness markers,
You just turned into that box? Oh my god.
the music,
So that's what it means by mimic.
and it legitimately mimics something. There's no tell. There's no way to know. And
So it's not just chests.
they can move.
in containers. It's anything.
So it's not just as simple as if there's...
Is this where you get officially introduced?
Nope.
So you're doing this all on your own time.
Yeah, I mean, we're gamers. Everything's on our time. So safes have... You can individually put the buttons in. Or you can hack it, but I don't even have hacking level 1, let alone 3. Over here, someone's written the safe code, but they wiped it away.
If only it were hidden.
Up here, a little note. That I guess Alex has taken away a key card?
Not sure how you manage this. Huh. That's a really confusing letter.
And they've actually left me collect more distributor and Q-beam ammunition from robotic corpses. So that's the really cool thing about immersive sims, is that because things are taught to you in the order that you find them, that you might get information that doesn't make sense to you yet.
Because you have the ammunition, but not the gun to go with it.
Right, like what's a Q-beam? I won't find the Q-beam for a while, even if I know what it is. If I don't know what it is, I might never find it. So for me to like immediately get a thing that helps me hold on to ammunition is like, okay, what does it say? Oh, cool, the password's right here, so I don't have to hack it.
Oh, when it actually grabs it for you, so you don't have to memorize it.
Yes, and when you walk up to stuff, it will immediately tell you what you did. And when you read them, and if you were to read a key card or something, it would just automatically throw it in there, just because there's no reason to be annoying
Tedious.
as heck.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So because I don't want to return, I've never opened this safe, and I really want to know what's in it. And I know the key code, because later on there's one of this stuff over here is called Looking Glass, and it allows you to actually see into like real time other places. So people use them to talk to each other on the spaceship.
Whoa, okay.
And there's a part later on where you record yourself in this room, and this hasn't been removed yet. So just in the interest of time and curiosity. Hey. So, I mean, that's not that valuable except for whatever that is. Increases your psi pool. I don't even have space for it. That's how ahead of the game I am. Whoa. Oh, never mind. Now this makes sense. What is it doing?
It's not mimicking, that's for sure.
I've never seen it do that. So they have specific expectations or programming for what happens when you're not around, or they think you're not around. So they do weird shit if they haven't seen you, which is like really adds to that immersive aspect.
Is it like playing? You know, like a
I guess
bored
so.
animal?
This is what I was talking about, where we didn't go anywhere when we got in the elevator.
Yeah, it just changed what you were looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, something so existentially wrong about it.
Yeah. The security guy has an actual working computer that he changes to keep the... It's basically the... What's it called? That Jim Carrey movie.
Yeah, Truman Show.
Yeah, he's basically Truman Showed you yourself, and you can reset the test, and you can probably go and do the test again because it's been reset, but there's a mimic in here. And this is the official...
Ah.
I'm just going to get this guy with a zapper.
What the heck is this?
Ka-chow!
Mimics. Be careful what you bring up.
And that's the official...
Jesus.
Yeah, so it takes a couple hits, a couple like full slaps to get them, just in case. And I like to hit them with, what's it called first? The disruptor.
Does that have infinite ammo?
No.
Ah.
And this is the infamous cup. These are really cool. Transcribes are audio. It's like people talking about the stuff, and you can learn about the story at your own pace. And you can
Kind of like
choose
the
not
audio
to...
tapes in Bioshock.
It's exactly like it.
Nice.
This is basically Bioshock in space.
It feels like it. It has very much the similar vibe. And I'm imagining once you start getting neural enhancements and stuff like that, it kind of mimics plasmids to a degree.
There, exactly. And you even refill them with hypo. It's called psi hypo.
No way.
Instead of Eve hypo, yeah.
No way.
Did you notice that? So what I like to do is walk around
And I trust you.
with like a heavy attack, just ready to go. Turn into a little cup there.
Oh my god, that's so creepy.
Ow!
And they have a lot more reach than you do.
Kind of. If you can kind of like dance around them and get a little bit of space on them.
But you're of a mood to just blast them.
Yeah, I mean the game's also a little too easy if you've played it this many times, even on the hardest difficulty. How neat is that?
Whoa. So all of those panels were...
Looking glass.
Wow.
Yeah. And you can operate this. I love that you can operate this. And you don't have to like wait for it. You can walk away from it as it's loading things. It's pretty...
Oh, nice.
I got a surprise attack on him. So I actually didn't notice for a while when I first played the game that they can move once they in their
shape.
form.
Yeah. Does this game have anything to do? There's a game I've seen played online a number of times in videos.
Prop hunt?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, not related.
But I imagine they saw that and said, "How cool would that be?"
Yeah. So for people who haven't seen this, Prop Hunt puts one group that's sort of like your typical Call of Duty team, that's got, fully kitted out assault rifles and everything else, and the other team gets to disguise themselves as props in the environment and try not to be shot by the people with the assault rifles.
Yeah.
And you can move around as the prop. You can also duplicate yourself and make additional inanimate versions of that prop. But it's weird how, it seems like it would be the easiest thing ever, but then all of a sudden you start to think, you don't want things to look too perfect, because then people will shoot them. and you don't want things to look totally out of place because then people will shoot them. So it's a very fine balance.
Yep.
It's a neat game.
So
I can never look at the word mimicry and see it right. I always see mimicry.
Mimicry.
Yeah, mimicry.
So, and I know I keep starting sentences with so.
So don't.
This was, so you remember the awkwardness of the tests at the beginning?
Yeah.
We couldn't hear it very well, but they actually make fun of you. They're like, is that really what she's doing? It's because their intention was for you to use alien abilities on each room.
But you didn't for any of them.
But they didn't work because my character avoided it or something.
Okay. Did you see what the third one said? Spooky action?
Spooky action, yeah.
That's what I believe it was. I believe it was Newton that described gravity as spooky action at a distance. Because they didn't know what it was yet.
And so my guess is there's probably no way that that's not a reference, right?
I wonder. I wouldn't doubt if it is, but I just love the term spooky being used by anybody scientific. It's just I love the superposition. Oh shit.
Oh.
God, these things are creepy. The way they can stand up is even creepier.
Well, yeah, they mimic you.
What the hell did you just do?
It was it's like a
An
kill
execute?
move. Yeah. So they have a very specific directive. They won't hang out in a room and not turn into one. Like you won't be in a room for like 10 minutes and then have it attack you. If you come up to it, it goes off.
Right.
Which is a little disappointing.
Because, yeah, some delayed ones would be great.
Yeah, having them hang out in the room for a while and not... Yeah.
Do these have anything to do with the mimics from Edge of Tomorrow?
They certainly have a similarity.
A lot of similarities, yeah. Except, obviously, the whole mimicry thing.
Mimicry?
Yeah. Mimicry.
Well, the funny part there, and maybe this is actually the where it came from, is Me Games is a crying person. In like their image, their logo is a crying girl.
Oh, really?
Me. Yeah.
Oh, that is kind of funny. But I just said, your health is low. Do you have any potions? What that?
What that? Food. Oops, sorry. Food is really cool. It does immediately heals you, and then it slowly ticks up. So you don't want to eat more than one at a time. And then I can also use, so that top right there is food and health bars or health packs, and then the left side is Psi Hypo and suit repair.
Oh, okay.
And this is our official introduction to phantoms.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So you noted? I don't know if you noticed earlier. You know what? I'm not thinking about it. I've never been in this room.
Can phantoms not go through walls? I mean, they're phantoms.
Not this time.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Not for this.
Not for the very specific action at hand.
Yep. When we first walked into that room, a dude got like stuffed down his throat by a bad thing, and then it turned into 4. That's how they reproduce.
Oh, so they're like face huggers to a degree.
Oh yeah, you know what? I've never actually made that connection. Oh!
What are you doing touching the goo?
Glue.
Oh.
Glue.
Oh, okay.
G-L-U-U.
I see it now.
That's how you say that. This is the glue gun. And as you can see...
It's a glue cannon. Let's not talk shit about the glue cannon.
They've already... Thank you.
Hang on, I want to stop to read this.
I don't want to try stuff. I've never once broken this and found out what's underneath it. So someone has already done... Like, there's all these stories that they've put in here as environmental storytelling. Ugh. So Natasha tried her best to get up here, and I guess she got killed. A lot of people are dead in, like... And they're, like, frozen in time. And I don't know if that's something to do with how the mimics kill people or something. I guess she kind of looks like a regular dead person.
Yeah, I think so.
But one of the things
Just
I always like
hanging
to
out.
do is immediately break the game. I mean, they did this on they put this here on purpose. They gave you the glue gun.
Okay, I understand. So those globules are from the glue gun.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can like,
Whoa.
yeah.
That's a lot of ammunition for a weapon of this caliber. And that was not really meant... Oh, nice.
Isn't that cool?
You Medusa'd him.
You know what's really crazy is like calling it Mitch Show was not intended to just do it all on my own. That ended up being what I did, and it's actually one of the worst things about Mitch Show is that
Yeah?
I rarely consider other people's perspectives, and so I'll release a video and find out that there's like a meme about a game that I've never even considered, and it's embarrassing when I find out like, oh, this thing I thought was a unique perspective was fuck off. Was
I was
actually,
about to say the same thing. This glue gun is really not all it's cracked
I've
up
never
to be.
done that. I've been playing this game since 2017, and I've exclusively been doing the zigzag back and forth, which is terribly inconsistent, and I didn't realize I could just go up on the
On
side.
the wall.
These are grav shifts, or grav lifts? Grav lifts. They're pretty neat. And
So those are giant magnets?
yeah, and so normally you walk through them and then they just bring you down gently. And so it's so cool. This is what I mean by immersive sim. This is already here in the game and they don't work. And later on you'll find them, and so the context is lost by being a new player. But they still put it there because this is a real world that doesn't exist just for you.
Yeah, so you'll see things that you're not quite aware of yet.
Yes.
Huh.
You'll notice a tiny shimmer right, or like a wiggle right before the mimic shows itself.
I've noticed that, yeah.
And so this is what I mean by these guys, like, they don't know about me. So they're just hanging out.
So they only take mimic form when they feel they need to deceive something.
Yes. And according to the in-game story, they don't know how they do it. They're not sure if they're in a pocket dimension. They're not sure if they legitimately become that object. They really don't know.
Or if it's like the mirror glass where it's specifically affecting your perception
That is the theory.
rather than the real situation.
And that's the beautiful part about this game. It's got so much story. Oh, I don't want a banana peel. It would be really cool if I could slip on it, but I don't think... Dude, if my character flipped out right there, I would have dropped the controller.
Just eat shit.
Ooh. Where's this go? Hello?
Just three phantoms just come flooding out of that tiny little hole.
There is a device called a recycler grenade that turns stuff into like raw materials,
Jesus.
and you can use it to take out objects that are in your way like that, or you can get I wonder if... Oh yeah, you have to pick up a neuromod to find out about them, but you can either get leverage 2, which would cost you like several points to get leverage 2, to move this to find out what's in there, or you can use that recycler charge. But those
What a
are...
bizarre stat. Leverage?
Yeah. I mean, life is just leverage, brother.
Well, yes.
Have I told you about this? I've been slowly trying to figure out, because before COVID, I believed like the experts would figure it out. You know, I was like, let the government. This is what you're here for. And then by the end of it, I realized that's a big crock of shit. And I've been slowly trying to figure out how to like describe it to my children to help them get ahead in life, so they're not 32 when they figure out that the world is entirely built around what people want and not what they need.
Yeah, and what people choose to bring into existence is the only thing there ever is.
Yes. And I've been trying to narrow it down. I'm like, what is it about life? How does it really work? How can I simply describe it and it covers just about any scenario? And it's pretty much down to life is about leverage and what people want. That's all it is. And really what people want is leverage. So power is a form of leverage. But you can get leverage in other formats by, let's say, you're an employee with a skill that nobody else has. You may not have the power, but you do have the leverage to decide things like, I want this money, I want these perks, that kind of thing. So you may not have like absolute power over your job, but you do have a form of leverage. And as soon as your thing turns into a thing that AI can do, then your leverage goes away.
Yeah, and that's something that has always been true, the same way that, you know, people who used to make things by hand were sort of ousted by the onset of mechanization, right? And I think a lot of people forget that there's two paths that you can take when that happens, right? If suddenly a machine can now make the thing that you make, your options are learn how to operate the machine, or learn how you can differentiate yourself from the product the machine makes, right? So these days, AI can write copy very quickly, but not very well. So if you're somebody who's in that world and you're worried about AI, you know, filling the space you once filled, your options are get on board and use AI to support the work that you do, or to go in a direction of saying, okay, instead of producing 100 articles a year, I'm going to write 6 articles a year. But each of these is going to be like a blowout banger.
Right.
And I'm going to have a client that's going to pay top dollar for it. I think you should do both, certainly. I think, you know, anyone who's not using AI these days is going to start being left behind, the same way people that weren't using computers in the early 2000s were just kind of asking to be left behind the curve, right? If you weren't using it for your business, then other people were getting ahead of you.
I think it's really interesting when like 60-year-olds are like, it's fucking computer shit. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's really not new. I mean, I get smartphones being he turned into a mimic organ. That's wicked, dude. And then I replaced him with a mimic organ.
There you go.
It's like, yeah, I get some technology is brand new, but computing technology isn't even close. Not even in the world of commercial use. So to just refuse to move forward, especially when your job, like I had teachers in college who refused to use the computer, and we needed the computer to know when our when our stuff was.
Yeah.
Like the actual schedule was based around it. And so I once went all the way into work, and some people drove like an hour to school, to see a note on the door saying, we've canceled class.
Oh.
Right? And the guy had tenure, so they can't do dick all. But then he's probably the same guy who complains about computing technology. And it's like, yeah, but one of my teachers said it really well. She goes, sure, your technology is much better than it was when I was your age. But they also used to, like a client used to expect me to get them something in a week. You're going to have to get it back to them by the end of the day.
2 days, yeah, exactly.
And then with AI, it could be like within the same conversation.
And that's something that I've definitely noticed is, you know, we are in an industry, you know, construction that has been heavily influenced by technology, where you have GPS systems that are all in one. Instead of needing 3 people, you just need a stick that you walk around with and it's done, right? Instead of having to, like, you know, you hear people telling stories about having problems on site and having to find a payphone to call the office, right?
Because the tech is versatile. Well, that's not the word. It's neat, not necessarily versatile. Like a landline is going to work in a lot of scenarios. Whoa, I've never been down there before.
Well, and that's, I think, where it comes back, is that the technology is powerful, which is great, but it does mean that instead of, you know, you handing a piece of paper to the client and then some weeks later it getting typed up by a typist, instead you're expected to produce a digital report on the spot and flip it right over to them because you now have the option. right? And we've even dealt with, we're coming out with a completely new system for doing all of our reporting. And what we found was that when we switched from the old antiquated system to the new one, we got a sharp uptick in performance. Suddenly people were on a better system that gave them less headaches, and we got better and better reports. Then, after a couple of months of using the new system, it's so good, people started to get complacent. They started leaning on the system to sort of do their workload to a degree. And so we started seeing more and more sloppy and lazy work because people were now in, this wonderful environment that did so much on their behalf. So next year, we're going to start fresh and be like, listen, you have all the tools, and therefore we expect basically precision and perfection from you. Like, if I've given you 90% of the words, I expect 99% of the words to be right. Shit. Oh, shit. He's got a plasma bolt, brother.
I was trying to get the other one to explode. Fuck. I wonder if this sets that off. Dude just bitch slapped me from like a meter away.
I bet you would. I bet you would have set it off. I bet. Were you just trying to club him with it?
No.
That's what it looked like. Looked like you were just trying to bonk him.
It's an explosive canister, so I hear you.
I was
meowing cat.
I was wondering if that was in the game. I was like, is that the noise?
There are no cats. Although, if Phantoms made a meowing noise, so we can't really hear it, and I've turned off some of the features. Normally, there's like an awareness meter that you can tell if they know where you are, and I find that it pulls me out of the world so much because you can tell where things are through objects.
Just a little bit closer.
But these things are made out of people. Oh!
I did not go at all the way you thought it would. I think that took like 60% of your health.
Where'd he go?
Is that oil on the ground?
Yeah.
Wait, you said that in such a grievous way.
Perfect.
Sorry, I thought you were trying to do that. How did you not see that coming?
This is what I love about this game. And you can put together, I look forward to the compilation of me saying so, and then this is what I love about this game.
That's the thinnest floor ever, because each time you die, your head falls halfway through it. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, well, this was the crumbling of Arcane, so.
Can you goo him?
I think, you know what, Dishonored 2 might have come out after.
I must say that I love the way that all of the ammunition counts are written directly on the firearm. It's very slick.
Yes. Everything in this game is integrated.
This looks like a hacking tool, by the way. This does not look like a firearm.
You'll notice the lights flicker when Phantoms walk around them.
Oh, okay.
Because they're like pure energy.
And so that's like a lightning bolt that he's shooting at you.
Gotcha, bitch.
Do they have health bars, or is that your fatigue meter?
They do have health bars. I've turned it off.
Oh, okay.
I absolutely love that rather than fully animating the Phantoms, they actually went for a minimalist approach to the animation, and it makes them creepier. Almost like the arms and legs don't really need to be there.
No, yeah, it's like the head and the torso is the whole creature.
Where the heck did that guy go? See,
he must have,
when he got up like a marionette. Like his upper half got pulled up by magic strings.
And I guess gravity really wouldn't affect him.
That's like the creepiest thing ever, is to stop fighting me.
To disappear, yeah. He must have left the room.
He's a phantom. Okay.
Come out, play, big boy. Is that Sunbeam?
Legitimately don't know where he is.
Is it possible he's just gone?
No, he'll be back. The Sand People are a resilient people. Oh yeah, no, the play is gonna be great. Oh,
Jesus!
Stay back. I have things to fight you with. Oh, I wonder.
Will they walk through the flame?
I wonder. Yeah, you're thinking the same thing. Ow, I will though. Ooh, gotcha.
Nice. Okay. I think I might have seen the Phantom at the door there.
It kills them.
Nice.
I love these guys. They're so creepy. No matter how far into the game you get, they'll always get you. And they become solid objects. It's so cool.
Could you like border up a whole door with this?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Now, it's not effective, and you will find that too in the game. See that? I got shotgun shells. I don't have a shotgun.
So what's going on with these mimic tumors? You have to have like surgery level 1 to take those out?
Yeah. Yeah, I forget what it's called. Necropsy. Necropsy?
Can be recycled for exotic material.
Yeah. It's a really useful thing to get right away, along with repair and hacking 1. And I think I'm just going to hold on to a neuromod until a moment that I need it. We can actually put out the fire.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's cool.
Dude, this was 2017.
Yeah, I mean, they had the technology.
And yeah. But no one's done this since.
I guess because people don't think it's necessary, they figure they can get away with kind of half-assed.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say that, because I'm sure somebody has. We just haven't heard of them. Because it's kind of like someone being like, there's just no more high-quality video essays that use video montage to make points in the world anymore. And they just haven't found me yet.
Yeah, and there's always somebody out there doing some good stuff. The problem is, how long are they doing that good stuff? What kind of visibility do they have in the public sphere? Because there's all kinds of things that don't get discovered until it's kind of too late, you know? They make a game, or they make a movie, or they make whatever, and it's received okay, but nobody really pays attention to it that much, and then the studio goes under, and suddenly 5 years later, it gets picked up on some secondary thing, or it gets suggested by another creator, and then it's huge, but the creator's gone, right? Because they didn't get sort of the feedback they needed at that very moment. Great example is like a lot of cult classic movies that did not do well in the box office. You know, movies that everyone thought were a complete flop, but probably have made more money after than they did on their original release. Whoa! Pretty much anytime you see a double object, that's a pretty good sign. Is that a security turret?
Yes, and? Yeah, it is a security turret.
Nice.
And it's designed just to kill aliens. And you can pack it up.
Whoa.
And you can bring it over here and redeploy it.
Whoa, that is super cool.
You can also fortify it to make it better. And I'm guessing, because it's an immersive sim, that you can set it on fire.
Nope. Totally impervious.
Game's basically unplayable.
Wouldn't it be sweet if it shot flaming bullets?
It's become super.
Yeah. It's enhanced.
I absolutely love that you can eat and use stuff as you find it, or hold on to it and use it later.
I think you might have destroyed it, by the way.
What?
Even though it didn't catch fire, I think...
Oh yeah, look at that. It's working. See, it's just slow because it's robotic and it's not as...
Needs to be repaired.
Yeah.
It's made with a high-grade alloy.
Broken. Oh no, he is broken.
Oh no.
So there's a really cool thing. I gotta get out of that habit of saying so all the time. It's definitely annoying. They give you this one for free. The door doesn't open. You need a key card, which I'm sure you can get somewhere. But they've created this bright yellow pipe that kind of guides your eyeball as you're walking down that hallway. And so I did find this one on.
Wait, hold on, back up.
What?
Yeah, you get back up in that tunnel.
What?
And you turn around and you look at that shadow. That is not a woman's shadow.
Dun 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 dun. Da da dun dun.
Do vampires have shadows? I've forgotten.
Rich man's. Oh, you keep doing that. I just realized what you meant. I was just letting you riff. I see now what you're talking about. You're the vampire thing because I don't have
a reflection.
A reflection.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite moments in the game. There's a doodly do. No way at this point I would have hacking 3. Oh, I missed a neuromod back there. Oops. But hacking 3 would take 11 neuromods. I have 1, right? So there's no way I'm getting in here by hacking. Over here, there's a note that says being held like you asked, he knew the door code was changed to 1129. That's the door over there. So most people are gonna use it here because they didn't read it. But in this book here, 0526 judges.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Bro, the first time I did that, I was so happy that you could do that. And that they didn't tell me I could do it.
That it's subtle, yeah.
And they didn't make me, and I can actually, on the fly, change.
Because you also need a little bit of intuition to look past the fact that there's only 3 numbers, right?
Yes. Yeah, you have to assume that it's an O. And so they just give you this number, but there's a reason for it. And it's because there's nothing in here.
Oh, great. That's the guy?
Yeah. Except the chair is a
So it wasn't even the guy, it was, wow. Can they mimic people?
No, that's kind of what phantoms are.
Okay.
The really cool thing about this, the Typhon, that's what they're called, is although they can mimic us and mimic items, and they can mimic humans and other various objects, they have no mirror neurons, which I don't know if that's a legitimate thing or they made it up for the game, but they don't empathize. They're like incapable physically of empathizing. Like they don't care about suffering, and they very likely don't even see us the way that we believe that we are.
Right, so they just see these amorphous carbon shapes.
Oh. I wonder if those are real. It would be kind of... No, I could test it, because I know where that is. Oh, we're going to test that.
We're going to...
This is a security station. From here, you can look up every person on the station, and it actually translates to their legitimate position.
So there's a surprising amount of living people.
So I'm pretty sure they could be a mimic. Or sorry, a Typhon. Yeah, they could be Typhon. I don't know. I don't know. I've never tested that. But I've found nominal. Sometimes nominal also means that they are... they're actually under like brain control. So they're not really alive. They've been taken over. And the amount of planning they've done, like Sarah Elazar is a character you'll find way later, and it makes sense the chief of security would have survived longer than most people.
Right, because they had advanced warning.
But the first time you play the game, you're not going to pick up on that. Like, why would you notice that? Also, that over there is not a glitch. That's a phantom.
Really? In that room?
That yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a phantom in there. Oh, that could be a glitch.
Looks like a glitch.
I'm pretty sure it's a... Oh, it's a glitch.
That's a glitch. That's okay. It happens.
So this is the test. We're gonna test this because that's where the camera, or that's where the camera, which is right there. Oh my god, is that a real camera? Is that the actual camera? I've never even looked for that, or maybe that's the camera.
No. That's a speaker. Yeah. No, you're right. That camera would be in the right location.
I think I'm gonna move, or maybe I'll glue it up just to. I'll be so happy if this works.
I love that this is definitely gone from a let's play to playtest.
I love that too.
Good. I'm glad we're on the same page about that. I think it's important.
No.
Ah,
it's not real.
Not real. Because your glues, it's not like they're gone, right?
Yeah, you can see the canister is still here from that first room.
Oh, okay.
Pretty neat though. They ruined this, unfortunately. This zoom, I love this zoom. It's an arcane feature in Dishonored 1 and 2. You get it as well. Later on, you get a device called the Psychoscope, which allows you to scan enemies to learn from them, and it just becomes a distraction. It stops being a legitimate zoom, and it just becomes this annoying thing.
And I'm guessing you missed that neuromod just because we were so distracted with that Spectre.
I also love how there's no atmosphere outside of the space station, so there's no light in here if the sun isn't there. right? Because that's why you get daytime in such a consistent lighting. Like the atmosphere is what helps with the lighting on Earth. And if there was no atmosphere, you would just get this harsh, one-directional sun.
Yeah, nothing to scatter it, right?
Yeah.
Nothing to make it diffuse.
I love rooms like this. It's like, which one is it?
And you don't have enough ammunition to just
Oh, I shouldn't even be using that right now.
spray it all.
Thank you.
I'm thinking that's it. At least that's one of them.
Oh, two at a time, and neither of them hit me.
They went high. They both tried to hit high. Nobody hit low.
I can't believe I haven't been hit. It's ridiculous.
Well, let's not say that out loud.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
I think you got them both.
I did.
Nice.
I'm a veritable video game icon,
Yes, you're iconic.
like Tommy Tallarico.
Like,
Have you seen that video? Have you watched any H-Bomber guy videos?
not a huge amount, but I believe I've seen that one. It's basically about how even though he has a pretty impressive video game pedigree, he also then lied about it to try and make it more impressive by just adding a bunch of things he didn't actually work on.
So
Or partially worked on, but like wasn't involved in the way he said he was.
he's a really
Neat guy.
in the 90s he was actually a very prolific audio designer and excuse me, what was that?
What do you think it was? Come on, brother.
So
You think
I-
there's vampires in here just biting you from behind?
I'm usually playing this game with headphones and I'm very absorbed, and so I'm playing. I'm not even gonna blame like playing poorly.
So what you're saying is your stupid brother is over here
I'm not
making it difficult.
my stupid brother. I mean, you're my only brother, so
So you can put any adjective you want in
Yeah.
there, and it's more or less going to be true.
yeah. I used to have friends who were brothers. I do have a friend right now that I think in time I could consider a brother, but just got the one. Who are you guys doing over there? I never noticed until I was playing this with somebody that they're quite goofy.
Yeah.
They're so scary when you're playing on your own that you kind of like forget the goofiness to them.
It's almost like they're actually trying to mimic you when they stand like that. That's kind of the
That's
impression
probably
that I
it,
get, is
yeah.
they're trying to take on your form, but it's too complicated. So they really just get like this skeletal outline.
Yeah, and that's the creepy part about them is that it's like an alien. You know what it's like the what is that episode of Doctor Who called?
You're not talking about the living plastic, are you?
No,
Even though
I'm
that
not
one's great.
talking about that. No, I'm talking about the one where the invisible thing gets inside Midnight. The invisible thing gets into the ship, and then they're waiting, or then it starts to predict them, and then it slowly starts to make them say stuff.
Yes, it's copying them faster and faster and faster until eventually it gets to the point where it's the one saying the things.
Yeah.
Oh man, Midnight may be the best Doctor Who episode ever told.
Did you notice that?
I did.
I can't stop saying how much I love it, but I do love that.
But yeah, I really enjoy that episode of Doctor Who because it can actually be seen in a vacuum.
Yes.
And you don't need to understand anything about Doctor Who to understand why it is both scary and intriguing. And that's kind of the essence of all Doctor Who. Scary but interesting.
So if you glue them, they can't change on you.
And then you can just bash them?
Yeah. Or you can leave them or you just leave them alone.
No, you can't. It must be bashed.
Oh, wrong one. I love that they do that.
They bounce off the wall, yeah.
Man, I can't figure out what I'm going to call my video. Other than I love things I love about Prey. That's legitimately what a file is called. A folder is called in my on my computer. Everything I really love about New Vegas. I just stopped playing New Vegas, so that's how that went.
I do love New Vegas, though.
This is a recycler, and it'll actually tell you what you're getting, and then you can recycle your stuff, and it comes out as cubes.
Just mineral material.
Yeah. And they did a bunch of really brilliant things with I don't know, you'll figure out in like 17 months when I get the Prey video out, but I'm basically writing it with you right now. So like this is like privy information.
This is all research.
You're on the ground
market
floor.
research right now.
But they did a couple really brilliant things. You'll notice I don't have to go into objects to loot them. I'm looting them from my space, so I'm not being pulled out of the environment. It also allows me to have those spooky moments where I'm looking through things and then
get hit from behind,
something happens, right? Whereas most games have you go into like a separate instance, so you could technically pause the game by hanging out inside of an object, or a container rather. But by making it one of those games where you're constantly searching through stuff for stuff, and then they made the enemies objects, so you're going face first into the stuff that you want, but it's also alive, right? So they've made looting way easier to do, and then added something that's difficult to do.
Well, and I do like the idea that you really don't ever know where the mimics are, and they throw them at you in kind of odd-numbered bunches. So, you'll get 1 or 2 mimics for a while, and then you'll just get 4 in a room.
Yeah.
Right? So you can never really take for granted that, like, oh, well, once I clear 2 mimics out of the room, that's probably it.
They do ruin it, unfortunately. There's a psychoscope function that allows you to see, scan mimics while they're in their mimic form, like only while you're zoomed like this. And then later on, greater mimics don't. It doesn't work on greater mimics, but then there's a Gen 2 version that does allow you to find greater mimics. So they kind of ruin it, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't feel like there should ever be a way around that. That should be the whole kind of point of the game, shouldn't it not?
That's really what I was hoping. I think the reason why they didn't is because mimics aren't the only thing. There's like 7 different types of enemies in the game, and mimics are just one of the fun parts. Well, on Nightmare, they do like sometimes 50 damage. So there's been times where I've had 2 of them instantly kill me.
Which is very intense, but I guess it's part of the fun, right?
This is actually the other side of that room we were just in.
Oh, nice.
And so one of the mimicry things I can do is I can become objects like them. So I can become a tiny object and fit through small spaces.
Really?
I don't think there's another way through these broken shutters. I've tried explosions.
So it's just supposed to be for storytelling. Did you notice that lady's name is McAvoy?
Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know she's also a California raisin?
Yeah, I noticed that there was a lot of instant mummification in some of these bodies. Yep. That's 2 scoops right there.
The fucking 2 scoops.
One of the greatest 3-second clips of all time.
I had a major bug, and because I knew this game, I was like, something is up. And so you see those 2 guns. There's a gun there and there.
Yeah.
I walked over here after like exploring this whole room, thinking, I remember encountering a phantom and like a couple mimics, and I didn't down there. And I came up here and there was no guns. This table wasn't there, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I looked it up, and there's a lobby glitch where the game just doesn't load itself, and the glitch happens before the lobby. So I had to restart the game.
The whole game?
Yeah. Now, I hadn't played much of it, but had you been a new player
and not known,
you would have just stopped because it wouldn't have allowed you through, and then you may not have even known that it was a problem. You might have thought like, this game just sucks. And it doesn't. And it also takes a huge risk with that opening. Like there's like a 15-minute opener that is the most generic tutorial system you've ever seen.
Yeah, and it doesn't get into any of the exciting components. I get that they're trying to build you up to this, but you're right. You don't want to lose people before you can even get there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of an unfortunate aspect to the experience. I do love how often there's like nothing it adds to the realism. Like, not every room is going to be filled with goodies. Sometimes you walk into a room that's got nothing.
Yeah, it's just some bloke's office.
Yeah. This is my office. I'm... Oh!
Thank God for the
What?
turret.
That must have been a lighting glitch.
Yeah, I don't
Because
think
there's
it was above
nothing
you.
strong enough over there to do that. That scared the hell out of me. I thought that was a flying creature I'd never seen in the game before.
The 8th enemy arrives.
Because sometimes you do forget about stuff, and you're like, oh, that's right. Because there's phantoms, but then there's also creatures that are invisible, and they're not called phantoms. I forget what they're called.
Well, that was a missed opportunity. Sunburst banana?
Yeah, I think they're made on the station. OMG Hot Boss.
Wow.
But that's Jason Chang. Like, your what's his name? Your assistant?
Yeah, well.
And then from there, I can get... This is a weird one. This is like... You can kind of feel the producer, like if their grubby little fingers getting in there. Or maybe they're slithery little fingers like the Phantoms. It's so easy to get into this room. There's a note that gives you access to this with a single email, which has her
Explicitly,
keypad.
yeah.
But then the operator is like, the code is... Right? So they just didn't have the confidence that you were going to figure it out. There's also... You can get in through here. By using the blue gun.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just hop along.
This has been your home for the last 3 years.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and if you want to be
I
economical
mean, there's a
about
conservation of mass problem, but that's okay.
was that the 3-body problem? So
Yeah.
if you want to be like more or more economical.
And fall straight onto a mimic.
Yeah. Look at that creeper. Also, we never found that phantom again.
No, I know. I was just thinking about that.
And that's like the best.
Sorry, I thought you would jump. That'll kill him, won't it?
Yeah.
Breakfast is served in the cafeteria.
Like a dog
Now
is left
what?
at home.
Now what? And that, my friends, is immersive sim. In one moment. A thing that exists without you, that also dies without you. Yeah. I don't know where we want to go. I personally don't want to grab any of this stuff because I just think that a pre-order bonus is bullshit.
Oh, that's all that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, then just leave it.
How long, like, where do we want to end this episode? Do we want to do this now? Or do you want to keep going?
No, that seems like a good time. You're in our office.
Yeah.
And then we'll figure out where the hell that phantom went.
Yeah.
Hopefully.